Hi everyone, I'm Charlie.
I'm Christine.
And we eat stuff.
Today we're visiting the Royale on South Kingshighway to talk with Steve about their take on cocktail culture for the past 10 years. Let's check it out.
My name is Stephen Fitzpatrick Smith. I am the owner and tavern keeper here at the Royale. I started working at in the hospitality trade. It was after my 7th grade summer. I worked at a basement bar underneath Two Nice Guys in Webster Groves as a dishwasher, and pretty much stayed in the business in one capacity or another to help pay rent up until I opened up this place. The Royale, the name came from a 75 Oldsmobile Delta 88 Royale that I had owned. Actually, I'd owned a couple of them over the years, and I've owned a lot of really fun old cars, but the Royale sounded right. We are on Kingshighway, which is Rue de Royale, and it was the kind of name that I would use for email and other things from time to time, and it just seemed to make sense to name the place the Royale. There's been a tavern here since Prohibition and probably even prior, and I took over it about 10 years ago. It was a very different place then. It was probably more of a sports bar. I definitely wanted to focus in on cocktails and beer, and it was something I've developed with some really great people prior to opening, during the opening, and then I still have great people that are with us today that help us keep the high standards with the booze, but I also try to make sure that it's accessible to people as best as possible. That you want to spend a few bucks, you can. If you only got a few dollars in your pocket, you can still come down with your friends and have a drink and not sweat it. Back when I had started, there were a handful of places that did fine cocktails. The Famous Bar around the corner was a great one, and I lived right around the corner from there. But there really weren't a ton of places you could get a really fantastic cocktail, especially for a relatively reasonable price, those standards. Now since then, the craft cocktail have just boomed, so has craft beer. And it's really no difference. When before you would have strictly Bud bars and the most simple drinks, and those are still around. Those are fine. Those are great, but it's just we're making a larger place for people to go. More things are available, and so it's making the whole scene of drinking and dining in town much better. I think the standards have been raised to where people are thinking about what they're drinking and eating a lot more, and they're thinking about the quality of the stuff that they're drinking more. They're not necessarily drinking more. They're just drinking, sort of thinking about each item they're getting and drinking better. The Subcontinental is our signature cocktail. It was developed by Tim O'Connell, who helped me design the original menu, and since then other people, especially Robert Griffin. The Subcontinental has fresh cucumber juice that we squeeze here, lime juice, Cointreau, Bombay Sapphire, and it's a great summer drink. It just makes you feel like it's summer.
Thanks for joining us for a drink, everyone. And thanks to Francis for making all the wonderful drinks. Be sure to visit Royale on South Kingshighway in St. Louis, Missouri.